So when it comes to what stocks are actually offered on Webull, what you're looking at here is, first off, you're getting access to over 6,000 US listed stocks. So what I mean by US listed, okay, there are some stocks that trade on major stock exchanges. So things like the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ. These are major exchanges where very large companies trade shares. You have access to all of those exchanges on the Webull app. However, there are some stocks that are known as what is called over-the-counter stocks or pink sheet stocks. These are stocks that are not listed on a major exchange. In a lot of cases, these are what are called penny stocks, or they're just companies that aren't quite as large or as well established. You don't have access to those on the Webull platform. You cannot trade over-the-counter stocks on Webull. That doesn't mean you can't trade penny stocks, because some penny stocks do trade on these larger exchanges. We have a whole video and article about Webull penny stocks. You can check that out if you are at all interested. But just know that you can trade anything that's listed on a US stock exchange. There's over 6,000 stocks on Webull. Same thing with ETF. So any US stock exchange listed ETF is available on Webull. But if it's not listed on a major stock exchange, then it is not available on the platform. Now, additionally, you also have access to trading options contracts on these particular stocks, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And you have access to investing in IPOs, what are known as initial public offerings. Now, this is when a company is going public, okay? They're offering their shares to the public for the first time. They do what's called an IPO, where they sell a bunch of shares at once. And with Webull, you actually have the ability to participate in these IPOs, which is kind of rare because in the past, individual investors like you and me didn't have access to these. And it was really just these large hedge funds, mutual funds that had access to participating in these IPOs. But with Webull, you can actually do so as an individual investor, just buy a couple of shares of an IPO if you do so choose. And a lot of newer investors are interested in this because a lot of startups that are growing very quickly do decide to IPO. And so you can participate in these companies that you might actually use on a daily basis. I mean, Airbnb IPO'd fairly recently, and other companies like that are in the process of IPOing. So it can be a cool way to participate in companies that you do already have somewhat of a relationship with. Now, additionally, they have a waitlist going for futures and Forex, and these are very advanced asset classes that I would not recommend to a beginner. But if those are something you're interested in, you can go into the app and actually sign up for the waitlist for those different securities.